homecoming weekend. Kick things off in our opening remarks. I want to introduce, let's do it like a stadium announcement. The 17th president of Wesley College, Robert E. Clark II.
Well, I'll tell you what, if Az wasn't such a phenomenal football coach, he should either be selling cars or being a disc jockey somewhere. So that was pretty impressive. That was pretty impressive. Again, I apologize for my voice and my fist pumps tonight. I got something scratchy and want to make sure it's not just singing in the shower. I would hate for our inductees to come home and I welcome them back to Wesley and 2 days later they're like, who's the bald guy that gave me the cold? So, but welcome home. This is your night. And, you know, being inducted into the Hall of Fame is something that's incredibly special, and every one of you here, friends, families, and inductees should be very, very proud. But in our society, and I think around the country, we throw around the word great. We throw around the word inspirational. And I think sometimes we get a little bit confused that we think that greatness or those that are truly inspiring are defined on a field of play or on a court or on a track or by an award. And I don't think so. I think that greatness, inspiration, is not defined on a field, a track, a court, or by an award. It's merely recognized there or by that. What truly defines greatness, what truly defines those who inspire, are how you live your life day in and day out. How you inspire others and make those around you better just because you were there and part of their life. And I think that's something that runs through every single one of our inductees tonight. And especially one who I have been proud to call my athletic director for my first couple of years here, my head football coach for my first couple of years, but most importantly, my friend. So when you hear the word great, and you hear the word inspiring, the person that comes to my mind is one of the individuals we are going to recognize tonight, Mike Drass. And I was blessed to call him a friend, and I am a better person, I'm a better man, I'm a better father, and I'm certainly a better president for having had Mike Drass in my life, and now for the rest of my life, having Mike in my heart. So welcome home. And because we're doing the awards inside, Mike can then make it rain all he wants, but we're still going to go through the awards ceremony. So welcome home. This is your night. But again, to the inductees, congratulations. To the family and friends, we share in your pride as we should be. And don't let this be your only time back to your home. Come back, meet the athletes that you inspire, and meet the next generation of Wolverines that came here to carry on the legacy of excellence that you started. And with that, I wish I could give such a... But, you know, back to the podium, Steve has an easy.
First up, Larry Bryant, men's basketball. Wesley College, let's give it up for Larry. He got a lot of cheers when he was here. He was something else. I got to watch him a lot of games, and he was a terrific basketball player. Now, going back, Wesley College got a steal when they landed Larry Bryant. A 1999 graduate of Lake Forest High School, Bryant came in as a young freshman. He actually didn't turn 18 until November of his freshman year. So we got together before the first game, and Coach Wentworth at the time said, everybody's 18, right? And Larry said, not me, Coach. And Coach Wentworth said, well, you need this permission slip if you want to go with us to our first tournament out in Ohio. That was the day before the tournament. I probably couldn't get back down to Lake Forest area to get his permission slip signed. So he found a way to win. Went back to his dorm room. His name's Larry Bryant Jr. So he did what he's done a million times, signed that permission slip, Larry Bryant. He just left out the junior. And there he was on his way to Ohio. Now, one thing he didn't need permission to do is score. His former coach, Chris Wentworth, said that Larry was very consistent. He could count on Larry doing his thing, putting up great numbers, night in and night out. Bryant was Wesley's leader in scoring and free throws when he graduated, with 1,791 points, 405 free throws. He's still second all-time with 224 steals, fourth in three-pointers with 160, sixth in rebounds with 641 boards, seventh in assists with 212. In the season record book, Bryant still holds the record for free throws made and attempted when he went 144 for 188 in free throws his senior year. He also has the fifth highest three-point percentage in a season at Wesley, 41.1% behind the arc. Bryant was a four-time All-Pennsylvania Athletic Conference honoree. Honorable mention as a freshman, second team as a sophomore and junior, and first team as a senior. In 2002-2003 season, making first team all-conference, he was also Wesley College's 2003 Senior Male Athlete of the Year. Now, Chris Wentworth had a lot of great things to say about Larry. He talked about how Larry had different aspects to his game. He was hard to stop. He could shoot the three. He was a great, driving to the basket, a scorer. He could finish, could get rebounds, could just do many things. And Larry came in so young, he actually grew 2 inches and gained 20 pounds while he was here at Wesley. And he gave coaches a nightmare. Coaches, they couldn't figure out how to defend him. They put a big guy on him, he was too quick, he would go by him. Or he'd create that little space he needed to get that shot off. Put a little guy on him, he would go under and post him up. So he gave coaches nightmares his 4 years here at Wesley, from that trip to Ohio all the way through to dropping 35 points against Marywood in his last game. Now he's keeping guys like Demetrius Stevenson, former Wesley College great, also a Hall of Famer. He's keeping him up late at night, still dominating in the over 30 league over at Holy Cross here in Dover. Ladies and gentlemen, Larry Bryant.
I don't have much to say, but Steve pretty much covered the whole basketball aspect. But first, I would just like to thank all my family and friends, all those guys that were along with me for the journey here at Wesley College. It was kind of an unexpected stop here for me. That started with my dad telling me that, like Steve said, I was 17 and I wasn't really interested in going to school right away. I said I'd take a year off. He basically said that you got to get out, you got to do something. So I ended up here at Wesley College. And what happened there was that a lot of people, like staff members, coaches, stuff like that, made me feel at home. So the transition ended up being a lot more unexpected than what I thought it would be. That goes from, like I said, guys that I met that are here that are probably lifetime long friends, teachers, coaches. He mentioned Coach Drask earlier. That was a guy that always asked, was I okay, did I need anything? And he was the football coach, athletic director there. Stuff like that made it feel like it was, with Wesley being a small school, it made the transition easy because it was like a family. And like I said, with that being said, I just like to thank everybody that was here and supported me, family and friends, and especially my pops, because if he wouldn't have told me that I had to get out of there that year, I probably would not have met a lot of people here. Besides that, I also like to thank a few people who couldn't be here. My mother, she's not here. A lot of guys that couldn't make it and things like that. I'll be sending them thank you cards as well, because, I mean, it means a lot. I didn't expect to stand up here, and it's a great honor. I'd just like to thank the Wesley College as a whole. Thanks.
Saw Coach Burrow was talking to you before this, Larry. Trying to sneak another year of eligibility out of you somehow, man. You look like you can still play. Speaking of the guys look like they can still play, Ryan Buckland, men's baseball. When former Wesley College baseball coach Trip Keister took over the program at Wesley, he had a vision of turning the Wolverines around. In the previous 2 seasons, Wesley went 21-43 and 1 tie on the diamond. Coach Keister credits a big reason for the turnaround to Ryan Buckland. Interesting story about Ryan. Even though he was a really good baseball player in high school, he was actually recruited to come to Wesley for basketball. Now that isn't a surprise to anybody out there that's been following Delaware high school basketball around the state, because he was an all-state basketball player at Caravel High School. So he actually didn't play his first year, but started playing the following spring for the Wolverines, and the rest is history. Some of the history. Buckland was a 3-time all-conference second-team pitcher at Wesley, all-time leader in wins with 26, all-time leader in games started with 42. At graduation, Buckland led in innings pitched, 256, now third, second in appearances with 50, third in winning percentage, 650, third in strikeouts, 228, and fourth in earned run average, 4.28. His senior year, he finished the 2008 season with an 8-2 record and a 2.88 ERA. He led the Capital Athletic Conference in opposing batting average. Guys were only hitting 195 against him. And hits allowed per game, 6.24 hits per game. Buckland struck out 71 batters in 75 innings. 71 strikeouts. It's a lot of strikeouts. One of Ryan's buddies, Matt Walker, who was a long snapper in football, came up with an idea before one of the home games his senior year and said, "Hey Ryan, I'm making these Ks." He made 10 Ks. That if you watch baseball, you'll see people put Ks up when a pitcher strikes out an opponent. So he said, "I made these 10 Ks." He was all over Ryan. He said, "You better use these tomorrow. You better get some strikeouts. You know, I'll put some time into making these Ks." Well, he used them all right. He had Ryan up striking 12 batters out that day. Matt ran out of Ks. So he was something. Great conversation with Coach Keister this week. He talked about how Buckland put these type of numbers up against everyone else's #1 pitcher. He said when he was on the mound, he was always facing the other team's best guy. And he talked about how Buckland beat Alvernia, Arcadia, 2-0, pitched a great game, and it was in the playoffs, in the regular season, they had beaten Wesley. So he really remembered that. He had a lot of great stories. After graduating Wesley, Buckland signed with the Nashua Pride of the Independent Can-Am League, played independent baseball, professional baseball in 2008. Now Buckland's paying it forward. All of his baseball knowledge in the young men as an assistant coach at Dickinson High School up in Wilmington, when he isn't making decisions at Amtrak, where he's been in management for 10 years. Come on down, Ryan Buckland.
I guess first off, I just want to thank Wesley College for giving me the opportunity. Again, like Coach said, initially Coach Wentworth recruited me to come here and play basketball. And after the first 2 years, did play basketball and then went into concentrating more on baseball, and I guess I kind of made the right decision on that one. I just really want to thank my family for supporting me through the time I was here, and definitely thank you to all the coaches, Coach Keister, Coach Underwood, my 4 different pitching coaches for the 4 years I was here. I never had the same pitching coach year after year. And just the opportunity was just great to be here, and I tried to make the best I could out of it, and that's pretty much all I got to say.
Great job, Ryan. Ryan told me a story where he was 2 outs away from throwing a no-hitter at Wesley, okay? But he has since thrown a no-hitter in the over 30 league up in Wilmington, which a no-hitter at any level at any time is impressive. Let's give it up for that no-hitter. Next up, Cole Pavlik, cross country. So we're staying in the state of Delaware for our next honoree. Cole Pavlik heated up cross-country courses all over the state of Delaware in her days at Cape Henlopen High School, where she was a 4-time All-Henlopen Conference honoree. She led her cross-country team to the state championship her senior year over State Power Ursuline Academy. Pavlik continued her winning ways at Wesley. A 4-time All-Conference runner, 2-time second team, 2-time first team in the Pennsylvania Athletic Conference. Pavlik also finished 5th place in the pack in 2000 with a time of 20 minutes and 58 seconds. At graduation, she held the 3rd fastest 5K time at 19 minutes and 52 seconds, still 4th all time. She also had the 4th fastest time in the 6,000 meter. Her 5K came right in her backyard here at Shooty Park in Dover. According to then head coach Steve Pickering, Cole was a terrific teammate. She often helped out other runners to reach their full potential. She could be seen cheering on her teammates that were finishing the race after she had finished. I had a lot of great things to say about Cole. She was a great leader, he said, especially by example. Coach Pickering talked about how in cross country they had doubles. So they had a 6 a.m. practice, and then they had another practice at 4 p.m. Some of the team missed the 6 a.m., sometimes, never Cole. She was always there, he said. Now, Coach Pickering has a heck of a memory, but he couldn't remember her having a bad race. He said sometimes numbers were better than others, but he said every time she competed, she came out there and brought her A game. After graduating from Wesley, Pavlik has competed in running events and even ran a half marathon. Our guys that came down from for the team to support today had to walk, I don't know, 3-4 blocks. Well, that half marathon, she ran 13.1 miles. Pretty impressive. She's also is having a successful teaching and coaching career at Milford, where she is in her 13th year teaching at Banneker Elementary, currently teaching 4th grade in the Milford School District, and she also coaches cross country for Milford Central Academy Middle School in Milford. Cole Pavlik, ladies and gentlemen.
Like everybody said so far, it's a real honor. I never would have expected this. I think I told Coach earlier this week, I started running because my middle sister, Bethany, was running, and being 6 years younger than me, I just wanted to beat her and not have a 6-year-old beat me at age 12. So that was kind of my motivation and continues to be just kind of helped propel me to run, and it was an awesome experience here at Wesley. The team was an extension of my family. I've got lots of brothers and sisters, so just the boys and girls team coming together was just like one big family. So that's all I really have to say. I don't know. Just also, like everybody else said, Coach Strauss would always ask about us and how we were doing, and that was always one of the highlights of my week. So.
Okay, we're going to stay on the women's side of things. Continue with speed. Kyle Savage, women's soccer. Okay, so we've been in the state of Delaware. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to head north. Don't worry, we're not going too far. We're going to get off exit 2 of the New Jersey Turnpike, Kingsway High School. That's the home of Wesley College women's soccer program's most prolific goal scorer in program history, Kyle Savage. Savage is the all-time leader in career points with 111 and goals with 47 in program history. She's also tied for 3rd in career assists with 17. Now, Kyle, where is Kyle out there right now? Kyle, I don't know if your ears are burning, but every spring, you're a part of our recruiting visit for any of the guys that are here today have heard this story. So during recruiting, part of the day we show the prospective student athlete the weight room and Wesley West. So we walk down the hallway, we tell them how great Coach Short is and the program she's put together. Then we get to Coach Muntz. And we tell them, this is Coach Muntz's office. You know, Coach Muntz is the Wolverine. He played at Wesley. Now, when we say he played at Wesley back in the early 90s, some of them make a funny face, Coach Muntz. Okay, some of them are born then, but we tell, you know, he played soccer here. He's a Hall of Famer. He has the all-time leading goals scored in career history for the guys still, but not the ladies, okay? Because Kyle beat his record. So she had 47 goals in history, in her career. Coach Muntz, respectable 43 goals. Now, I love Coach Muntz, but it's pick on Coach Muntz night tonight, okay? Because I found something out while interviewing Kyle. I found out despite her having a hat trick, 3 goals in 1 game in her first college game, she didn't become a starter until the 5th game of the season. He must have known she was going to compete to break his record. Some guys will do anything, you know? Coach Muntz. But that decision he made turned out to be a great decision to make Kyle a starter. Because as a rookie in 2004, Savage was named PAC, Pennsylvania Athletic Conference Rookie of the Year, scoring 18 goals. We won't mention that she also passed Coach Muntz there, where he had 17 goals in a season. Savage was a 4-time All-Conference selection. She was named 2nd team All-Conference in 04, 06, and 07, honorable mention in 05. Her teams made 2 appearances in the PAC championships and twice in the semifinals. While it may have been hard for Coach Muntz to talk about records, and we talked as well, and it might have been tough for him, it was easy for him to rave about Savage as a teammate. He talked about how Kyle was always cheering her teammates on, they respected her, she was a positive influence to the team. He talked about how she was just a natural goal scorer that could finish. For all the soccer players out there, that's a great quality to have. Both of them are. She was also a captain her senior year. Still involved in soccer. This is her 4th fall, coaching the little 3 to 4-year-olds up in South Jersey. Now, Coach Clark, he's already recruiting Maddox, who's here tonight at 4 years old. Okay, come on up, Kyle Savage.
I just want to say thank you to the Hall of Fame committee, coaches, and staff who selected me for this incredible honor and allowing me to be here tonight. My 4 years at Wesley were the most memorable of my life. I can remember coming here for a tour with my mom my senior year of high school. Some of the girls showed us around campus, cafeteria, locker room, some of the dorms, and I said to my mom before the tour even ended, I'm coming here. And my mom said, Kyle, you need to play hard to get. But I knew that this was where I was supposed to end up. I knew I was supposed to be with this group of girls. How can people you just met for an hour or 2 already feel like you're home away from home? Because Wesley women's soccer is all about family, and Coach Muntz made sure of that. It was instilled in us from day one. And I'm forever grateful for my teammates who became my closest friends, And thank you, Coach, for believing in me, even though my highlight tape was a disaster. For giving me a chance our first game of the season and allowing me to show you how much I wanted to be a part of this program. Thank you for the unforgettable memories, your support, your words of wisdom, and for the greatest soccer seasons of my life. We laughed, we cried, we won, we struggled, but my best memory by far was beating your record. Thank you to my amazing parents who have supported me my entire soccer career, especially my dad who would drive me to the fields in 100-degree weather to practice shooting and run a million suicides. The countless practices, games, and tournaments that you both attended, I'm pretty sure you made it to 99% of my games over 17 years. And without you both, none of my accomplishments would have ever been possible. I know some people aren't as lucky to have that kind of support, and I want you to know that meant the world to me. I couldn't leave here tonight without taking a moment to remember 3 people who I thank Wesley for having our paths cross. Julia DeFelice and Sean Wise were amazing soccer players and friends that were taken from us way too soon. Their hearts are huge, and their love for the game was contagious. And Coach Drass, I didn't know a lot about him, except that I knew he was an amazing coach and a busy guy. But my favorite memory of him was when he took time out of his schedule to come to one of our games. The game was really special because it was the night that I had the chance to break the record for career points. And it wasn't a definite that I would beat that record that night, but he obviously had faith in me, and I did it. And I like to think I made him a little proud that night. Coach Drass, you were truly missed, but your legacy and inspiration will forever live on. Thank you.
Good job, Colin. Before we move on to the next nominee, I want to send a special shout out, to a special recruit that's here tonight. Women's basketball, Coach Weirden has a special recruit on campus. Jordan Rook from Conrad High School, who was part of the state championship team last year. Let's give her a round of applause. Next up, speaking of some of Delaware's finest, Brooke Tadlock, field hockey. Tadlock had a storied high school career at Middletown High School. She was named All-State her junior and senior year for the Cavaliers. When she graduated high school, she was second in the state all-time in goals scored. The story continued at Wesley. Tadlock was one of the best players in field hockey history here at Wesley. Tadlock was the first player in program history to be named All-American. And Wesley College, I've been a part of Wesley for a long time, Wesley College has had some unbelievable field hockey players. In 2010, she was womensfieldhockey.com All-American second team. That same year, she was the Field Hockey Coaches Association third team. Great honor. She's a 3-time All-CAC, Capital Athletic Conference, first-team member. The Capital Athletic Conference, terrific field hockey conference. She was 3-time All-South Region first team. She was the 2010 CAC Player of the Year. Tadlock ranks 4th in goals with 53, 4th in points with 123, and 10th in assists with 17. Now, while her stats are unbelievable, when we talked, the first thing she wanted to talk about, her teammates, and how they fed her the ball, and how great her teammates were. I mean, it was pretty impressive to hear. That's a common theme you see with Hall of Famers over the years since they've been doing this. They're good teammates, they care about the team. Sure, they all have unbelievable stats, but there's always that team part of them, and that was a big part of Brooke, talking to her and talking to Coach Short. Coach Short remembers her as a pure hockey player that could score with anyone, and she was just as good defending. How good was she? You won't see another Wesley College field hockey wearing number 11. Her jersey was retired. Now, she hasn't slowed down since retiring from field hockey. She's a very successful nurse at Christiana Hospital and competes in horse race carriage competitions up and down the East Coast and Canada. Don't be surprised if you don't see her on the 2024 U.S. driving team. Ladies and gentlemen, Brooke Tadlock.
I don't have much to say, but I was just telling Ryan I wanted to go last, so I knew what everybody else said, and then I had to follow Kyle's speech, which was awesome. Like everybody else, I want to thank my family. I wouldn't have been able to do this, and then I want to be the girl that cries. But my mom, my grandmother, and my aunt were at every single game, and if they weren't there, I'd be miserable. I mean, I didn't care how far they had to travel, you had to be there. And Coach Short, you know, for the girls who are here today from the team, those were the best 4 years that you'll ever have. So enjoy every minute. It's not going to be the same when you graduate. You're just going to, you know, grow up and go to work, but you'll never forget these years that you have with each other. So enjoy every minute. You know, you meet people who you're going to know for the rest of your life. And like Kyle said, you know, when she lost friends as well, my senior year I lost my boyfriend to a tragic accident, and I wouldn't have been able to graduate with my nursing degree and finish my senior year if it wasn't for this team. They were my reason for getting up. You know, I had to go to practice, so they got me there, and they were my support group through my whole senior year. So it wouldn't have been the same without you and Coach Short for putting up with me through all of it. So, and thank you for the award. So I'll never forget, you know, my 4 years here. So thank you.
So we just heard about 5 terrific student athletes. Now we're going to hear about, in my opinion, the greatest coach I've ever known. Coach Grass was an integral part of Wesley College for 29 years, starting his coaching career with the Wolverines in 1989 as an assistant coach before taking over as head coach in 1993, and later becoming athletic director as well in 2005. In his 25 years leading the football program, he transformed Wesley College football into one of the true powerhouses of NCAA Division III football. His career record, 229 wins, 61 losses, and 1 tie. His tie came in his first game in 1993 against College, that's what he told me, first game against College of New Jersey in 1993. Now some of the numbers. 2 National Coach of the Year awards, 2 Gagliardi Trophy winners, Rocky Myers and Joe Callahan. I remember when Rocky won, we both did half-day recruiting that day. Drove, I don't know, 5.5 hours down to Salem, Virginia. That's where the award was being held. After the award, we drove back because we didn't want to miss a day recruiting, and it paid off because he used to regard that 2005 class as one of the best we ever had. 3 New Jersey Athletic Conference championships, and we can thank Coach Drass for making the CAC schools into the New Jersey Athletic Conference happen, or we'd still be independent. 3 undefeated regular seasons, 2006, 2009, 2010. 6 different times ECAC Team of the Year and Lambert Meadowlands Trophy winner, which was one of his favorite nights, where he would bring about 7 players up to MetLife Stadium, used to be Giant Stadium, Meadowlands, and it was such an unbelievable dinner that they would put on. Everybody got dressed up, our guys got dressed up, and he loved that night because it was just spending time with his guys and you know, having them experience that. Some of my best memories with him. 8 times. He had 8 D3Football.com Regional Players of the Year, 8 Atlantic Central Football Conference Coach of the Year awards. When he would win his Coach of the Year awards, he was so humble, but he was just kidding around with this. He would show me the award. See this part right here? He said, this little piece. That's you, man. That's you. So, like that. 9 times His teams won the Atlantic Central Football Conference, which he started that conference. We were independent before 1998 when we got into that conference. 10 D3Football.com All-Americans. 11 seasons with 10 or more wins. Unheard of. 12 Associated Press All-Americans. That's Division III players, Division II players, and NAIA. It's over 400 different teams. 14 NCAA playoff appearances. 14 American Football Coaches Association All-Americans. And there's only one quarterback, only 5 O-linemen, only 4 defensive backs. It's the hardest team to make. 29 NCAA postseason wins. Anybody in the crowd tonight that was a part of any of our postseason teams knows that those 29 wins were about one word: advance, keeping us focused on the game coming up. 91 ECAC All-Stars. 73 D3Football.com All-Region. 190 All-American honors. Some guys were multiple All-Americans, but a total of 190. 229 wins. And 235 young men were all conference selections. Now you can add all those numbers up, and they don't come close to how much love he gave so many of us. And 2 people, I mean, he loved everybody, but I know he loved these 2 people especially, okay? And that's Laurie and Molly Drass. And I would ask those 2 to come up, please.
On behalf of my mother, my grandparents, and my family, I would like to thank the Wesley family with all their help through this difficult time. When I sat down to write this speech, I thought, what would my dad say? The first thing that came to mind was he would have hated all of this. He never liked to be the center of attention, but somehow he was the center of attention of many people in their lives. He was way more than a football coach. He was a mentor and a father figure for most. But for me, he was my hero. The person who always knew how to cheer me up. He was the person who went the extra mile for you. Helping others for him was second nature. And that's the one thing I think I would miss most about him. But I have no doubt that he is still helping everyone, just like he used to. We just can't see it anymore, but we can feel it. Thank you for the support, and lastly, let's win a game.
So we had this ceremony planned for Coach Drass's family for the Delaware Valley game. And as everybody knows, that was a torrential downpour, crazy weather. So as you looked at WeatherBug, okay, or weather.com, wherever you want to look for your weather, there's a possibility of rain tomorrow, okay? I think we've outsmarted Coach Drass on this one, okay, because I know he doesn't like getting this attention. So he would have opened up the heavens, okay, and poured down some rain on us tomorrow if we tried to do this tomorrow. Okay, so we're trying to have a ceremony to honor him, and we're going to make that happen tonight. Now, Coach Mapp was with Coach Drass since 1989, with him through the entire building of the program, and we would like him to come up and say a few words about Coach Drass.
Well, there's still a chance that Coach Dress could get us, the fire alarm goes off here tonight, or a sprinkler system gets set off. First of all, I know I'm real proud of Molly. I know your dad's looking down, beaming with pride right now. I know he's here, and you know, he's always been so proud of you, Molly, and you know, and you've always been the center of his life, and you're able to get him to sing Disney songs, which is pretty cool. But I know your dad's really proud of you, and he's here with us tonight. But you know, right now I just want to talk a little bit about Coach Dress. I was here the first day he showed up to the Wesley campus, and I was with him on the last day, his last day on Wesley's campus. And you know, earlier this summer we lost a great friend. We lost, Wesley lost a legendary coach, and he was one of the rare people, as we hear tonight, that could impact not hundreds but thousands of lives in his own special way. He had a gift that he shared with everybody, and he made everyone around him better. And you know, we have a big hole in our lives right now. The Wesley community, the Wesley athletic program, the Wesley football team, and our families and friends. We have a big hole in our lives, and it's been tough, but we've tried to process this whole loss. And so when we think about it, we think, like Molly, I think about what would Coach Dress want? What would Coach Dress do? And we know he's very humble, and he won't let us celebrate with him, and we did outsmart him tonight, Steve. I know all the awards that he won. I found a couple of those Coach of the Year awards in the back of his trunk and in some boxes. Those weren't important to him. But what was important to him was Wesley College, his team, and the athletic department. And so when I think about what Coach Dress would want, I think the best way to move forward is to commit to the same values that Coach Dress was all about, that were important to him. Commit to those things. Let's carry on his legacy by thinking about Coach Dress and understanding what made him great. And there's a couple things that I think about when I think about Coach Dress. The first thing he was passionate. He was passionate from day one. When we got to work in 1989, he was all in. He worked like crazy to be a great coach. He was passionate about coaching. He was passionate about the game of football. But most importantly, he was passionate about his team and his players. He loved his players. It created a great, relentless work ethic in him. It brought energy and enthusiasm to the Wesley program, the Wesley College, and we were all better for it. Another thing I think about Coach Dress, he was passionate. You look at his, his pregame speeches, if you get to see those. I posted one online last night. But not only was he passionate, he was compassionate. He cared about others. He, as we heard tonight from Larry and Kyle and Cole, we heard about how he connected with people. He had an unbelievable ability to connect with people. And I thought I was his best friend, but I found out he had dozens and dozens of best friends. He was cheating on me or something, I don't know. But he had a way to connect. He had that inside joke, that little thing that people had between him and themselves, and he was a friend to so many people. And that care, you knew that he was there for you. It was real and authentic. It was real. And with that compassion and caring came another thing that Coach Dress was all about. He was about loyalty. He always had your back. No matter what the circumstance, he would be there for you. He was there for me many, many times. He was the kind of guy, if you needed him and you were 6 hours away, he'd be there in a heartbeat. And that loyalty built these connections, these unbelievable connections amongst people, amongst the people at Wesley College and beyond. And when you put that all together, that passion, that compassion, that caring for others, that loyalty, it just made everyone around him better. When he walked into a room, he made the room better. He made the people in the room better. When he walked on the field, the players were better, the coaches were better because of these things. Passion, caring, loyalty, and there's many more. But when you, in my opinion, when you think about somebody who makes the people around him better, that's the definition of a leader. And Coach Trask in Wesley College and our Wesley College community over the years was the ultimate leader. And he is a great example to follow. And I think it's important for us to carry on his legacy by thinking about these things and acting on these things. And you know, it's important to us, and it's important for me to let the family know and let the Wesley community know that we're going to do everything we can to continue this great legacy. And if Nick and Naomi could come up, we have something for you as a symbol of our commitment to this. So, as a symbol of our commitment, we'd like to present this helmet to Nick and Naomi. And the helmet was signed by a team, and the team represents Coach Trask's last recruiting class, but the first of many that are going to continue to honor his great legacy. And the helmet signed by everyone on the team, and we're going to continue. Like I said, rest assured that we will always remember Coach Trask. And to also to Naomi, we have something else, and to Molly and Lori, we'd like to present you with a gift that has engraved on it one of Coach Trask's favorite words. Okay, the word is together. It's a word that Coach Trask has said thousands of times to thousands of players. And it meant that the Wolverine football family, we are here to serve each other, and we need each other in order to succeed, and together we are at our best. At the end of every game and practice, Coach would ask, how will we win? And we continue to do this in his memory. After every game or every practice, we say, how will we win? And the team will shout together. And so I'd like to do this, if you don't mind. I know Coach Trask is here. I'd like to give one big together for Coach Trask. I know he's listening, and when I say, how will we win? Just like Coach Trask would always do, I want everybody to give him one big together. Okay, are we ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'll say it in Coach Trask's voice. How will we win? And our plan is to continue his legacy tomorrow by kicking Montclair's butt tomorrow.
Okay, so as we conclude tonight's ceremony, I just wanted to congratulate each of the inductees. Larry, Ryan, Cole, Kyle, and Brooke. I remember watching each of you compete in your respective sports. It was a pleasure to see your team spirit and camaraderie, as well as your physical skills. You were true student athletes, and Wesley College is very proud to have you as members of our Hall of Fame. Let's give them one more round of applause. To Lori, Molly, and Mike's family. We all loved Mike. His Wolverine pride was evident every day. For the past 5 months, we have worked to remember Mike, for his passion and his commitment, and tonight we honor his legacy. Thank you for sharing him with us, and know that he will forever be a Wolverine. So thank you to the families and friends of all of the inductees, to the administration and staff of Wesley College, and to the current student athletes that came out tonight. The history of 6 of our sports programs has been honored here tonight. We are proud of each of the inductees and happy to have each of their supporters as part of our Wesley College family. Please travel safe, and hopefully we will see everyone tomorrow at the football game. Enjoy your homecoming.
One more little housekeeping thing. All the Hall of Fame inductees, please meet upstairs in the ballroom where the reception was.